In this demonstration, we're going to send information to a Syslog server that we may have out there in our infrastructure. If you remember, we want the Syslog server because we want to aggregate all of these connections to one location. We don't want to have to go to all of our routers inside of our infrastructure to look at the log files or do any debugging. We can set up a Kiwi server, a free simple Syslog server that we can set up somewhere in our infrastructure to collect, view, and archive Syslog messages and SNMP traffic sent directly to us. We do have to touch the router in order for this to work. What we're going to do is I'm in global config, as you can see right here. We'll type out service and then I'll hit the tab key there so I can save some time. Timestamps. We're going to do log, date, time, millisecond. We're also going to do our service, timestamps, and we're going to do debug, date, time, and milliseconds as well. We've turned on the timestamps. All right. So it's super important when it comes to logging because if we have all this information, that's great. But if we don't know when these errors took place, that's a problem. We need to be able to pinpoint it and say, this happened yesterday or this happened an hour ago. Timestamps are very important. Go ahead and make sure we turn those on. We're going to type logging and we're going to put in the IP address of the Syslog server that's out there inside of our infrastructure. We can do it by IP address or we can do it by host name. I'm not going to do it by host name because I don't have this router configured to use DNS right now. If we have DNS server on our infrastructure and we can talk to it with this router, then we can put in sample host names. I'm going to go ahead and just put in 10.10.10.250 for our Syslog server. We have to figure out what we're going to trap for. That's for the error messages that we'll get. I'm going to type logging trap and we're going to do debugging. Now, if you remember, there are 8 different levels, 0 through 7, of the types of messages that we could get, anywhere from emergency at level 0 all the way up to what we're doing, debugging on level 7. You may not want to do debugging in your infrastructure. You may just want to do warnings or errors or critical messages that are coming across on your server. I'm picking number 7, or the severity level 7 is what they call debugging. Not only will I do 7, it will do everything below that. If we were to pick warning, which is severity level of 4, it would do everything between 0 and 4. You're going to get less information, but sometimes that's better, right? Having too much information can be a bad thing sometimes. We'll go ahead and we're going to turn on debugging here. I'm going to hit enter and we're all done. That's all there is to it to turn on logging. I'm going to do a show run so we can look at the running config. You can see the service timestamps right up here that we turned on for logging and debugging for date and time. Then we'll get down here to the bottom and you'll see what we're trapping for. And you'll see the IP address that we're sending this information to. And that's it for this demonstration. In this demonstration, we configured the Syslog server.